Hello and welcome back to All Things Real Time, where I'm joined once again by Lorimbo, who's going to be talking us through his run in the most recent tank, which is tank number 8. That's the Alpha Navigators
Seven.
tournament.
Tank number 7.
7. God, I'm way up.
Shout
buddy.
out to the tank organizer Adiko, by the way, who
Yeah,
is
Adiko's
so
great.
yeah, based, bro. Anyway, so this is the second step in our adventure. After getting through the qualifiers, Mr. Lorimbo managed to beat a top 30 world player.
Yeah, so
To
your
get
reward is one of the best vanguards in the world. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to love it. And this is we're in
yes,
game 1 of your best of 3, right? Which is for the round of 4.
yes. Absolutely. So in the previous episode, we saw me play against Lysergic Acid. This time, we are playing against Don Ilya, who's hosting in the bottom left corner. I'm at the top, as always. So, Don Ilya, what to say about him? He's a player. He has developed some of the most aggressive strategies I've ever seen. He's been constantly good in every single patch. By the way, he has played every single the Alpha Navigator and has always reached top 8 in every single one that he has played. He's insanely consistent player, very scary. He also kicked me out of tournaments before, including the World Championship, well, quote-unquote World Championship, in one of the previous Alpha where I ended up 5th and he ended up 4th for this very reason. So we are gonna see what he's cooking. So can you talk us through this build order?
I haven't seen this build before, and it's a weird one. So he's cut workers, he's on 7, 8, 9, so he made one worker at the start and then didn't make any more after that. He's gone straight from a Rax, really early Rax, that he double built with the first 2 workers, and then he used Bob Overcharge to power build the Biokinetics lab. He's got 1 Bob on gas, which means this is going to be a dog upgrade build.
Absolutely. So luckily I was a bit more clued in compared to you. I had previously played against this build order because he had won against me with it in the qualifiers. We had already met in the qualifiers, so I had a bit of a clue here, and I knew it was gonna be a high level aggression with dogs. I'm not 100% sure yet, so I checked with the brute to scout his dogs. And once I spot them, I go through the middle of it actually. So I'm still a bit unsure. Nowadays I wouldn't do this anymore. Well, nowadays, this was yesterday, but I've since
In hindsight,
learned.
you wouldn't do this, yeah.
Yeah, in hindsight, I wouldn't really do this. Is a bit too dangerous because I want to be protecting my mineral line. That's the most important thing. So Don Ilya is respecting this a lot, maybe because he is afraid of that brute and he's not diving in straight for the base. But now he is doing it, and this is why it's such a big mistake. Luckily for me, my second brute pop up, and I managed to at least get some damage. He does get, unfortunately, the kill on the gas. I'm forced to micro a bit here, not great.
Yeah, you need to replace that gas, right? Otherwise you can't really afford to be using your conclave.
I think I've mined 15 already, but I'm not 100% sure here. I realized that this is a problem. What the hell am I doing here? Oh, I'm making
a turret.
Yeah, this is a turret. I'm making a turret. That was really dangerous, actually, in hindsight. Don Ilya is going to transition into a more economical plan. He's going to take resource camps, expand, or even double expand. He does this quite often. To then punish me with a strong vanguard timing. So I had already lost to this. And I was really worried about it. So the whole game I was thinking, fuck, I need to be careful about the Lancer timing. So as I said many times before, against dogs, once you have 2 brutes and a single gaunt, you can start looking around on the map for opportunities or even go across the map. It's a bit risky. It's a bit... I don't really like the fact that you have to do this blind, but the idea of it is the gaunt just provides like some logistical support. It's just a bit of DPS overall, but the real meat is the brutes that deal a lot of DPS.
It's a very nice snipe on that first gaunt, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely well played. It's also repairing. This is something that top Vanguard players do all the time. You can get a lot of value thanks to this, and I'm forced to regret because I lost my gaunt. So I decided to go back.
I think a turret here, it's really interesting he skipped the turret. A turret here would help him repair these, obviously, with the bob in it. Then it makes him really safe against your aggro if he puts a Lancer in it. But he seems to be kind of quite confident.
Yeah, but
that
Yeah, it doesn't really need it and will slow down his economy. I would be really happy to see a turret here because he has to build it, maybe even overcharge. So I'm just scouting, trying to see his expansion time because I had not seen the expansion before.
Did
With
you
this
remember
position,
noticing this in the game and seeing that he
no,
opened this pathway? Okay.
no,
So
I
that
did
kind of
not
means that he's going to
notice.
expand this way and then probably turret over here.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. And there we go. There's the expansion.
I was completely clueless, and this is gonna come back to bite me in the ass later on, if I remember correctly, because I'm not quite sure where his expansion are. Unfortunately, the big problem playing against dog openings is that you lose map control really quickly, and it's really hard to scout. I was actually completely worried about him going on my side of the map, getting
Going through the
the
trees.
and just sniping my workers. That's the reasoning for that turret there. So
Yeah.
I'm just
Your army's
expanding.
definitely stronger in a straight up fight, right? And that's why you're allowed to
Yeah,
do moves like
absolutely.
this.
Yeah, absolutely. There is the power of the dog is their insane mobility and very high damage against light targets with the upgrade, but in a straight up fight against brute they never win. So I'm trying to get as much value like as possible, slowly getting some value from different parts of the map, right? The ones that he hasn't cleared yet. So as mentioned in the previous video, go check that out, by the way. Getting the speed cap is always good because it allows you to get 5 fins, and it's also a 125 Luminite, which always comes handy. General plan here is I'm going for a Magmadon timing. So what's a Magmadon timing? General idea is the following. Oh, I'm gonna lose some guns, by the way. The general idea is the following. I want to get a couple of Magmadons before he has too many Exos, because Magmadons do really well against Lancers. So you can see that there's a bunch of Lancers. I was really scared about this. I think he could have punished me earlier, harder here, but I didn't quite realize. Now I have a bit more units. You want to match the count of Lancers with your own brutes, basically. That's the idea.
Yeah, so this is your Magmadon tech coming through. You're putting quite heavily into the gas mining. Ilya is getting his 4th up, and then unfortunately in the replay we can't see what he's building here. I think this is another Rax.
Yeah, it's another Rax.
It's interesting. Quite a lot of people are going into fast Hornets or fast factories for either cars or for Vulcans, but he's going really heavily just straight into bio.
There are people who like, for example, when you play against Lucifron, he really likes dogs into Hornets. It's up to personal preference. There are quite a lot of viable openings, I think, as Vanguard right now. Also, viable follow-ups, rather. But my man, Donny Ilya, since he has pretty good micro and pretty good splits, we're gonna see that later on, he really likes just the Exo Lancer Ball. So here I thought I was gonna win the game because I thought I had gotten a surround, and then I realized you can just slip through. Yeah, the Lancers, unfortunately, are really quick with the upgrade. It's really hard to catch them.
Yeah, but that's why you're allowed to be out on the map and play a little bit more aggressively like he was. So he's starting to move more into gas. It's interesting, I don't think he has the command post upgrade, so he can't have any medics, and I actually personally play quite fast medics, because we're starting to see his kind of force get kind of beaten up. And the nice thing with the medics is you can save a lot of the energy by putting them in a turret and then just having your lancers around. They heal now 8 health a second. So it doesn't take long and these are all healed and your medic is still really high energy.
Yeah, definitely.
But it does mean that he's just mining more Luminite instead.
Definitely a mistake. He's gonna adapt probably. This is what I was talking about. I go for a Magmadon timing. I do get the upgrade, but I don't think it comes online quickly enough. 4 or 5 Magmadons is the maximum you can get, like realistically speaking. And this is an all-in. Let's not kid ourselves. This is an all-in. I scout this. I mistakenly believe. I now scout the other base too. You didn't notice. I scouted the third on the other side. I mistakenly believe that the other one is the 4th and this is the 3rd, but now I realize there are too few workers here. I get a bit tripped up, but luckily I realized that he doesn't have anything to deal with the Magmadons yet, as you can see.
Yeah, you see the medics coming through now. He's going into them quite late, but quite hard. 3 coming through, but his army just looks so small compared to yours.
Absolutely. This is the reason why this timing even works. This punishes greedy players who go for mass lancers without transitioning out quickly enough. So if you don't transition to those medics, to those Exos specifically, the Magmadon time hits you really hard because it's hard to you just can't do much with lancers, right? They're melee units. So here all of my units get stuck. I split a bunch of them to kill the 4th.
Yeah, we see the Magmadon upgrade coming through now as he starts to get stunned on the backside as well.
Absolutely, and here I was just trying to kill as many minion lines as possible. I could even expand by hand this if I wanted to, because I did already enough damage. But I want to end this game, so I prepare a flank with a Magmadon from the top.
Both
Here,
my Bobs
wow.
healing each other just never die. It's actually incredible.
Yeah, it's impossible. So here I go for the final push. I know there's a Magmadon coming from the top, which is gonna prevent him from cutting that way. So he has to go here, and I prepare the trap with the Infest. This prevents him from moving out and closes out the game.
Yeah,
so
that was
this
a
is
really nice combo.
yeah, I'm glad. This was really nice. I'm really glad I managed to set up this round here. I think I was winning the game really hard even before that, because it just didn't transition quickly enough, didn't scout the transition to Magmadons. And it is GG, guys, but unfortunately the chat is bugged, by the way. So don't think that anyone is
No BM here.
there is no BM. Every game was a GG. Don't worry about that. But unfortunately, the replay doesn't show chat very well.
So we're gonna hop into game number 2 in the next video, right?
Yeah. We're gonna see what can go wrong when you go for this Magmadon timings. Unfortunately, as much as I wish I could just win every game with the Magmadon timing, there is a weakness. We're gonna see why Don Ilya is one of the best players in the world.